Hi, I'm Rob, and just welcome to my channel. This is something I've been planning to do for a very long time, and I see this as a way of giving back to the community, where I've been participating as a passive participant for the last maybe 3 years or so. And what I want to do is to show you a little bit of my world, of what interests me as somebody who's interested in guns, interested in ballistics, interested in shooting, and so I thought I would start with a very rudimentary introduction video, and that's this one. I'm a very international person in the sense that I'm now living in Switzerland, but maybe you can hear that I'm of British origin, and since about 12 years now I'm also Swiss. So this gives me, let's say, an open door to the Swiss way of doing things, which means that as you know, they have a very interesting way of doing things with fairly liberal gun laws here, an army which is a militia, and I think American colleagues would maybe like to look at their own constitution to see what where the word militia has a role in I think the Second Amendment, if I'm not mistaken. And so with this as a basis, I think I would like to show you, especially my colleagues from across the Atlantic, what I'd like to do, or colleagues and friends from across the Atlantic, what I'd like to show is how things happen here. I'm a bit of a mixture. Grew up in the Middle East a little bit, in UK, and worked and lived in France, in Belgium, in Germany, and since about the last 20 years or so I've been living and working in Switzerland, and I expect I will retire here. My plans for videos are that I would like to show you, probably from this location. I must say that this is my workshop. This is where I do my gun cleaning, where I do my maintenance of various things, where I keep my bicycles and maintain them, and I'm not yet into reloading, but maybe that will come and be one of the more one of the activities that I'll get into. There are a lot of very good reloading videos I've been watching recently on YouTube, so maybe you've motivated me to start. Another topic that I'd like to cover is shooting, of course. We have more or less two kinds of, or specific kinds of ranges here in Switzerland. Those are the private ones, which are very often underground, and then there are the public ones, which are usually above ground, and often are within the jurisdiction of a specific small town or village. Switzerland has an enormous number of shooting ranges, typically one per village, if you can imagine that. And my particular shooting range, the one I go to, where where my club goes to, and I'm a member of a very, very old established club, if my memory serves me correctly. The shooting society, as it calls itself, has been around for about 500 years. When I show you some historical details of the place where we live here, you'll be able to maybe better appreciate the historical nature of our location and why there is such a long history of shooting here in Switzerland and in this particular location. What I'd like also to do are some hands-on videos of particular firearms. I've just got here my very favorite 9mm device, which is the Browning High Power. I don't know if we can see this. Let's try and zoom in. So this is the Browning High Power. We're going to ask ourselves, is this thing safety checked? Of course it is, and I'll show you that right now. And so we take the magazine out. Magazine is empty, as you can see. Put it away. Pull the slide back, which, as you can see, is a very tough proposition, and I'll lock it back for you. Let's do it this way. And we can look in to the firearm and see, can we see it? I think just about there, that there is in fact nothing in the chamber. So this is a very fine firearm, my favourite, I must say, when it comes to pistol shooting in 9mm. It lies very well in the hand. So there we go, I can put it back together again. And point in the same direction and put it away. So that's the Browning 9mm. One of several I'd really like to show you. Another one would be the K31 and SIG 226 and small bore pistols, like for example the SIG Mosquito, which is a very fine, accurate pistol and needs a lot of tender loving care, TLC, to make it, to keep it shooting happily. Or for example the Hammerly, which some of you may know. Hammerly is a company who was based here some years ago, based here in Lenzburg in Switzerland, where we live here. Since then Hammerly was bought, I think, by Walter, but don't quote me on that. I can check that and put it in the notes. This is the pistol that my partner uses for her shooting at 25 and 50 meters. So that's quite an interesting pistol. Other topics are, for example, rifle rest. I think I might show you how to make such a thing. This is mine, I made this, and this is the one that I use for cleaning my small bore rifle and my K31, my Schmidt-Rubin K31, which is used here for 300 meter target shooting. In Switzerland it's a tradition to shoot 300 meters, not 100 meters and not other distances. 300 meters is the distance at which we learn to shoot and to gain some degree of excellence. And if you'll excuse me one second, I'll just reappear with my K31. Here we go. This one was manufactured in 1942. It's a very, very fine rifle. It's now unsafe, wasn't before, and this is the diopter with which we learn to shoot accurately, and at the front, let's say the sharp end, is a rather finer front sight. That's this thing here, and with this I can say that I've been able to get marks of around 70%, which means it's about a 1.80 meter diameter target at 2 meters. No, sorry, at 300 meters, and at 300 meters, the 1.80 meter target is divided into rings, 10 rings. The center ring is worth 10 points, and in the center of the center ring, that's what they call the mouche, or the fly, which is a French word, and the mouche is 2 inches in diameter. I've hit that mouche about 4 or 5 times now, at 300 meters. So that's 2 inches at 300 meters with this 70-year-old rifle. So, of course, we're shooting GP11, which is also, it's a very old ammunition design. It's over 100 years old now, but still very, very, very good, with some very desirable ballistic characteristics. And just to recap, this stand in which the rifle is sitting is something I built, and maybe that might be one of the topics for a review or for a video in the future. I also have a K31 which I'm customizing currently. This is a K31 which will have a Picatinny rail, if you can imagine that, looking at this old thing. Modern Picatinny rail on a K31, a muzzle brake on a K31, a new stock on a K31, and of course a telescopic sight on a K31. As you know, or if you've just heard, this rifle is capable, or this design of rifle is very capable of extremely accurate fire, certainly out to 300 meters and certainly beyond it. In fact, this scale on the front sight, which of course I don't use, but which would be used if an ordinary soldier had it, is calibrated to about a mile, so, or 1500 meters, so just under a mile. And therefore it makes quite sense to convert this to a more modern format to be able to shoot accurately over longer distances. Okay, so I won't keep this very long. I've reached the point where I'd like to talk about, or to roll up this little video. As I mentioned in the beginning, this is my way of giving back to the community, which has taught me so much, thanks to many of the very popular contributors, or I would even hesitate to call them to the stars of the YouTube gun community, who have, with their incredible proliferation, their prolific output, have taught me so much in such a short time. I would like to give back to them, show a slightly different aspect of what gun enthusiasts might be like in a different part of the world, to show different activities of people like me and people that I'm friends with and who also shoot, and it's a kind of a way of thanking them for their support and their enthusiasm and their hard work in the last 3 years. And here I'm talking about people whose names are probably no mystery to you. The first one that comes to many people's mind is Hickok 45, a delightful gentleman from the south of the US. Such a charming person, I think, is rare to find on video. But also the ones that I'm sure you also know very well, like Nut and Fancy is a very big name in this regard, with a tremendous prolific output and a very, very wide range. I think his motto is Adventures for Life. So he's somebody who's definitely well worth looking at. Then of course the Military Arms channel, Mac, that's Tim, who is extremely concise, never says unlike me, and every single word he speaks is full of information. It's a very, very solid channel, really exciting, interesting, and full of unusual points. Another one is the Yankee Marshal, who has rather more humour in his channel than most people. Very intelligent, interesting person. Definitely well worth a look into the Yankee Marshal. Another very intelligent, interesting, experienced and wide-ranging person is, or channel is Iraq Veteran 8888. There are several people figuring in this channel. Two main characters are Eric and Barry, but Chad figures also, and I know Mr. Moss and other people whose names I've omitted for lack of memory. Magnum 30 FPS is another delightful gentleman with a creative side, with a very interesting and capable practical side that I also really appreciate, and so I'm giving him a little shout out. Pete of the Armory channel, from him I've learned so much. The same goes for Eric of the Iraq 8888 channel, for Magnum 30 FPS, for Nut and Fancy, Yankee Marshal, and. But it would be not correct of me not to mention Pete's achievements, because his projects he achieves with such a degree of ease. You have the feeling that this comes as second nature to him. He's an extremely practical person with a great deal of experience, I would even say nonchalance, an easy way of putting it across, and a great deal of humour too. Anyway, I'll stop there. There is I'll do a shout out video later on, and I think more or less I'll close now. I have to say this is my first ever YouTube video. It's a new experience for me. I'm talking in an empty room to a camera sitting on a tripod where no other person is involved, and for that reason it's a little bit of a strange experience, but I'm sure I'll get used to it, and I really do want to bring you more information, more things you probably haven't seen before, especially the Swiss way of doing things, the Swiss aspects of gun ownership, of shooting, because a range experience in a Swiss range is completely different to a US range. I really think I'd like to show you that. So this is me signing out. This is Rob Whittlestone, and I hope you'll be interested to hear what I have to say. I'll notice eventually by the statistics whether that's the case or not. If you're really interested, and this is premature, I promise you, then up on the top left of your screen is a subscribe button. If you've liked what I've done so far, which is, again, I say is premature, on the bottom left is the like button, and stay tuned, because there's a lot more where this came from. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye now. And firearm safety depends on you.